Welcome to
MIA2K,
your ticket from Miami to Seoul.
We're Kathy and Laura, and we're so happy you could join us today.
You probably know us from, just kidding, you don't know us yet. We're just two Miami girls with obsessive fandom tendencies who fell into the inescapable void of Korean entertainment. And we're here to share our insights and spill all the tea only grown fans like us can enjoy.
We've done all the research and acclimating so you don't have to. Before we begin, please make sure you're following us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And if you love visuals like us, you can watch us on our YouTube channel. We drop episodes with our hot and sunny takes every week.
So, hi guys. Our podcast today is about our experience at the Head in the Clouds Music Festival, which took place in Pasadena, California, just about 2 months ago before Omicron hit us all in the face. And we'll talk about how we ended up there, how Laura dragged her poor husband, Ryan, on this adventure with us. We're going to talk about the lineup, of course, the food, which is very important also, and everything in between.
So I guess we should start on how we ended up there.
Right. Okay, so let's give a little bit of background because probably literally no one else has heard about Head in the Clouds except everybody who was there.
I think people have, maybe just not people in Florida.
Yeah, Florida man, not aware of Head in the Clouds. Everyone else might have some knowledge. Okay, so just a brief overview. Head in the Clouds first came on the scene in 2018, presented by 88 Rising. We are not sponsored, but wearing our 88 Rising shirts. So if you want to watch our podcast on YouTube, you can see us matching today, being cute, sponsored, not sponsored people. But whatever. So it was presented by 88 Rising, a music collective and management company geared towards representing Asian artists. The media often refers to Head in the Clouds as Asian Coachella, which I think totally makes sense now that we went to it. It took place first weekend of November at the Rose Bowl, which sounds very legit to me in California. Wow. How we ended up there, I saw a flyer on Instagram and I innocently sent it to Laura. And I really didn't think anything of it. I swear. I just saw like Jay was on it or Ij, and I sent it to her. And then I don't know how, but like 2-3 months later, there we were. And then I just wanted to, before I hand this off to Laura to give her perspective on it, just shout out to Ryan for tolerating us both and coming on this trip and like making us feel protected and just vibing the whole time, because he was a trooper while we were living our best lives, and maybe he was not as much. So yeah,
just so everybody knows, Ryan is my husband.
Yes.
Who is not into anything
that we are, right?
Yeah. So I'm one of those people that loves to travel in general, and I love to travel for concerts. I've done it for other artists. Even if I'm not super into them, I still, whatever, I'll do it. I don't really care. So when Kathy sent it, I was like, perfect. It has been a horrible 2 years and we're supposed to be like almost there. Right. So I convinced her and my husband to go. My husband and I had a trip planned for October, and I basically told him, I was like, what if instead of October, we do November, and as the start of our trip, we go to the festival? And he was like, oh, whatever. So that was a yes. And that's how we ended up at Head in the Clouds.
I mean, not for nothing, but I think it's really wild that we ended up all the way in California on the other side of the country in the midst of a global pandemic. Like, Delta was still kind of like a thing. And for people that we didn't even stand that hard, and like, I'm speaking for myself here, I barely knew Ij. Like, I liked his personality. But I really did not know like DPR's music. Laura has been working at this, guys. I cannot express enough how hard she's been trying to get me to like DPR. And it was an uphill battle. And I'm not proud of it because now I do like them. I do like their music. I do understand their message and the logic behind who they are. But it was a long time coming and it wasn't easy. And by the time that we decided to go, I still didn't even like Gem and Butterfly, which is like a great song. So it to me, I know. But for me, yeah, I went along with it. I knew I needed the adventure. Like Laura said, it was 2 years of like hell. And after a lot of things that happened last year, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to put a bow on this year by having a great time in November with my friend and her husband and jamming to these artists. And like, I do, because I do have a raver background because I used to go to Ultra, just girly things in Florida. Uh, I was like, yeah, I do miss festivals and I do miss the shit show of it all. So like, fuck it, let's go.
I would like to point out that I was into K hip hop and K R&B before I was even into K-pop.
Fair enough.
So I discovered DPR before I discovered BTS. So I've liked them for a little bit. I like DPR Life a little bit more than DPR Ian. Sorry. But
Whatever.
but it's fine. It's fine. They're great. And I mean, I know it was a pandemic, but like the way that they structured the festival made us feel a little bit safe because
Totally.
you had to be vaccinated and it was outdoors. And one of the reasons we bought VIP tickets was because usually VIP section is a little bit more open, less people. And so that was like points for it. One of the things that they did, which I thought was a great idea, was for vaccination, not approval, but check. They used a Clear app, which you did before you got to the festival. And all you did there was you just showed your phone that had like a green square. So it was really easy for the people checking to know whether you actually were vaccinated or not.
It sped up the process a lot. And like airports now are using the Clear app and stuff. So it's very legit.
Yeah, they had like a festival app which showed a map of the whole festival where everything was, the lineup, like you could create your own schedule so you wouldn't miss your faves. It was like really, really good. And I just want to be friends with whoever planned that. It was amazing. And one of the other reasons why we chose VIP was because of the bathrooms, because we are not into 20-minute lines just to get into a disgusting porta potty.
Or UTIs.
And also, yes, we are not into that. So it honestly made sense. And it wasn't even that expensive.
No, the price difference was totally justified to do the VIP thing.
So we talked about how we got there in logistics. Let's talk about the people, the artist.
Right. So again, like I said, I had zero clue about 95% of the lineup. When we got the tickets, which was like August, I think, from August to November. Mm-hmm. In August, I only knew who DPR and Eej were. I kind of knew about CL, obviously, and I knew Saweetie. Like Saweetie was the one person that, like, when I told friends that are not privy to this side of the world of entertainment and, Korean artists or Asian artists in general, I basically was like, Saweetie is the one person that you might know that is going there. That's who I was kind of excited to see for the most part. But then Spotify dropped these things called blended playlists, and it made one for Laura and myself, and like we tapped into it. And first of all, it told us that we're 96% compatible. Hello. Yeah. We are literally the same person for a little bit, but that 4% is tangible though. Like the 4% is
feel
strong,
it, you can taste it,
which is good. It's great. Like we can't actually be the same person. Exactly. It's necessary. So when the blended playlist came into my life, that's when I had no choice but to stand DPR. That's when I couldn't escape the music. I was trying not to skip the songs actively. I was in the shower and I was like, I kind of like this. And then I would look and I was like, oh, it's DPR. Oh, it's happening. It's starting.
DPR Life. Just making sure.
I like DPR Ian's music. I'm not going to front and say that I don't like or I don't thirst for him as a delicious, beautiful man more than his music. What I think is DPR Ian's strength is the visuals. They have like a Christopher Nolan approach to their music video making. So I think that's DPR Ian's contribution to the DPR regimen, like collective. But I do like his music a lot. So just stop hating on him, please.
I don't hate on him. It's just his music is very emo, like 2000 emo, which isn't bad. I was super into 2000 emo music. But now I vibe definitely more with DPR Live, who's not like party, but it's still like, it's vibing. Like it's chill. It's good.
It is a vibe. Yeah,
It's great.
absolutely. And then
DPR weekend gang.
DPR, we gang for sure. So yeah, Jay's music, I did not know more than like 2 or 3 songs he had featured on. And then I looked actively into like Head in the Clouds artist playlist so I could like get to know everybody. So from that, I kind of started liking CL. And I know again, we're super late to the K-pop game. So like I know
Super
CL is
late.
like an icon and now I'm obsessed with her. And I've seen stories and videos about her. So I know
Same.
she has a very, very long career and I'm late and I'm sorry for that, my queen. I worship you. Alpha is everything. Taya Cherry is everything. Like all the songs are everything. So please forgive me for being an ignorant, like useless peasant. Sorry. I also liked Nikki, but she was also very emo. So like the whole playlist, you have to be in a specific mood to listen to this. So anyway, I just stuck to DPR and CL basically prior to the
I
festival.
tried listening to the playlist because
Yeah.
Kathy would send them to me, but I would just end up skipping out and just going back to this is DPR live
Yeah.
on Spotify, and I do it again because
Yeah.
I love him, and that's that.
After when we got to the festival, I think was it day 2, I think maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
The Linda Lindas were playing on the not
day
the
two.
main stage. I had heard about them earlier and I loved them and it was really fun to listen to them. And then again, now as a result of the festival and everybody that we did see there, again, obsessed with CL, worship the ground she walks on. And I really got into BIBI as well, obsessed with her.
She's
She's
great.
the baddest bitch. I love her. She's everything that the Korean entertainment music is against. And I stand her so hard for that.
Yeah, she's part of this like music uh
Collective.
collective called Feel Good Music, and they did a set, and Tiger JK came out and he was like, you guys don't know me, I'm too fucking old, but it's okay, you're vibing with me. And my husband to this day still talks about it, and I really appreciated that because he's not like a puberto.
Right.
He's around our age,
Yeah.
and that felt good. No offense to Warren Hugh, I'm sorry, you're just very young.
Yeah, Warren, he was so adorable.
He's great, he's great.
And he had really good music. They all had really good stage presence. A
They
lot of
did.
these artists came on the scene in the past 2 years, so they've never performed live before. And
Yeah.
performing in front of 30,000 people when you've never performed before is huge. Or
Mm-hmm.
when you're out of practice in general.
Yeah,
So I was very impressed with that.
it's true.
And the last person that I'll talk about, and before I say this, let me start with a disclaimer. We don't cancel people on this podcast. We're not looking to be canceled ourselves. So, any fans of these people, do not come for me. I did not send for you. I'm just making a statement based on what happened and my personal experience. So, as I said before, I was really excited to see Saweetie because people knew her. I knew her. Yeah, my best friend. She a real bad bitch, got her own money. You know,
The
all that.
remix is great.
The remix is amazing with Jamie. Well, she has a lot of remixes to the song, but the one with Jamie in particular is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was really excited to just see her set. And then when her set was supposed to start, I was alone. Laura and Ryan were getting food or something. So they got there and they were the ones that pointed out to me that she was 20 minutes late to her set. Like her set was supposed to start and she hadn't started it. So, you know, whatever. We know that like with LA traffic, festivals, shit happens. We can totally understand an artist being late. But when she came on and started her set, like didn't mention it, just, you know, didn't even acknowledge that it was a thing. And then she did like 3 or 4 songs and then she kind of like stopped for a little bit, went to talk to someone. And then she was like, oh, they're telling me to do another song. What do you guys want to hear? Or something like that. And it was just like, she didn't want to be there. You know,
Yeah.
this was like an easy check for her for a very small set. And this wasn't really her crowd. I did not fuck with that from her at all. So that kind of turned me off of her a little bit. And that's that.
Yeah, I have to agree with Kathy. That one comment was just, it didn't sound well. It just wasn't. Every other artist before her had been so excited to perform, and the energy was so amazing because, you know, we've been stuck in our in our rooms, in our apartments, in our houses for so long, and to be able for them to be able to stand in front of so many people that are so excited to see them. The energy was so good. So for her to say something like that, it just kind of was like all right, I guess the only excited people are us, not you.
Totally.
It wasn't cute. It really wasn't cute.
Yeah, it was not. So
No.
that was my take and
Yeah.
my experience on Laura as she's partaking here. But again, not canceling her. I'm sure she'll make a ton of other bops for us to,
Yeah.
jam to, and hopefully her next appearances, she'll be a little bit more excited to be there as much as the
Yeah.
fans are. So
Yeah. So another highlight of the festival was the food. I I was actually telling Kathy that I had never been to a festival. I don't know how, but I had never been to a festival. So I really wasn't expecting much food wise. But boy, was I wrong. The food was a highlight. Like the one thing I regret is not branching out and tasting more food because we were in the VIP area and in the place that we chose to sit both days. We had like six food stalls really
yeah.
close to us with zero line. So we kind of stayed within those six.
Mm-hmm.
But once we decided to branch out on the second day, it was freaking amazing. Kathy, please
Yeah, the
tell us how
branching
amazing it
out,
was.
the branching out was the highlight of my entire trip, honestly. So the food is catered by or presented by this collective called 626 Night Market. And they just basically have a bunch of vendors and they have an actual place where you can go get their food, but they cater a lot of different festivals. And one of the participants, vendors, restaurant establishments, people, are called Fat Dragon. And let me tell you, if I lived in LA, I might just go there every single day because was it the orange chicken? Is that what we had?
Yes, it was the orange
It
chicken.
was, I've had orange chicken before. I love orange chicken. You know, there's from every cuisine, Indian, like, Chinese, anything, any restaurant that has orange chicken that will probably be the one thing that I select from it. This orange chicken was like no other that I've had before. And I am still salivating because of it. I was trying to get Laura to agree to go to Fat Dragon in LA another random day because I just wanted to have it in my mouth again. But we ended up not going. So sad face. I guess I'll have to go back to LA at another point and have some more orange chicken from Fat Dragon. But that it really hit the spot and it was just so everything. So I really enjoyed it.
It really was. And in this particular part, like in the food lines and the food stalls, the VIP ticket proved itself. Like we were able to get food on both days within like 15 minutes of, you make the line, 15 minutes, you're up the front, you're ordering.
Mm-hmm.
We tried, my husband and I, Ryan and I tried to get, they were having this alcoholic boba specially made for the festival. So I wanted to try it. And we tried going to the general section to go buy it, but the lines for everything were so freaking long. We were like, no, man, like we didn't pay to be in lines. We just want to sit. I'm not about this. So in the food sections, it really paid to pay for the VIP ticket because the lines were short. The food was delicious. It wasn't the orange chicken, but what we did have right next to us was really delicious. Like I really wasn't expecting that type of quality from a festival.
At all. And like it was a lot of creative vendors like the pizza cupcakes and like the tacos and stuff. All those things were really
So
good.
good.
So I regret nothing. I totally was enthralled with everything that I ate and tried, honestly.
I would have liked to try more. That's the only thing I regret.
Sure. Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get that. Aside from the food, I guess the other thing that we wanted to talk about was the fashion because
Ooh.
now that we are in this global sphere. And I think Laura in general has been very good about experimenting with style. She doesn't really subscribe to the usual trends and stuff. I'm much more on the safe, girly, side of things. But I really admire Laura for stepping out of her comfort zone and wearing so many like fun things. I have never. But this whole experience has inspired me and seeing so much of like the K hip hop and K-pop styling choices really has permeated into my bloodstream. And I was
Amazing.
very, very much about that life of experimenting during this festival. So I will try to put some pictures maybe here. For those of us not watching on YouTube, please come to YouTube and watch so you can get the pictures of our
Or
incredible
Instagram.
styling.
Or Instagram.
Or Instagram for our incredible styling. And, like Laura showed her glasses a little bit ago. This is one of the glasses that I wore, which are a total
Come on.
vibe. And I'm not going to take my headphones off because it's annoying, but I also wear this gorgeous bucket hat from Trixie Cosmetics because I stan all the things. If it has a fandom, I'm part of it. So yeah,
Nice.
the aesthetic and the vibes for this festival were very much like day one for me was like I wore the Big Titty Gang from Stadium LA, his company and his clothing brand that he makes. And the Big Titty thing is proceeds from that go to breast cancer foundations. And it's an amazing mission. So I love rocking that shirt. And I did get shouted out by people that were also wearing Big Titty Gang shirts. So shout out to everybody that was part of the Big Titty Gang at the Head in the Clouds Festival. So I wore that, and then I probably will mention this during other podcasts, but I am getting attacked, dragged, bullied, and just frankly, I am in distress because of the revenge of the safety pins against me. Laura's laughing because she knows every time that we see an artist right now, they're wearing safety pins in a very ironic way. So I decided that I wanted to take matters into my own hands and see what the safety pin life was about. And I bought these like yoga pants that were like split on the sides, but my whole
A little
ass was out.
scandalous,
A little scandalous. My whole ass was gonna
but
be
like
out.
good. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, it was fine. So I used a little bit of like fashion tape and safety pins, like big safety pins. Like they were supposed to make a statement. It wasn't like a whatever,
oh,
like a
let's
minor
hide
thing.
in.
Right, 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 right. It was very deliberate. So I lived my best life, taking, I took back the power from the safety pins that they have over me. No, just kidding. It was just for that day. They still own me. So that was that. And also I started my journey into the bad bitch thick combat boot collective. And now I only wear combat boots, and especially if they look like they can take someone out with just one hit. Anyway, for those of you listening, you can definitely check out our podcast video on YouTube and
Mhm.
go to our Instagram, and you'll see more pictures of our amazing fashion choices
Yes.
for that weekend.
For me, my first day outfit was whatever. The one thing I did do right was wear a skirt. It was roomy. It was great.
I don't
It was
think your first
amazing.
day outfit was whatever. I was very inspired by your
Oh,
first day
thank you.
outfit. Really.
It was all right. But
Yeah,
the biggest thing was it was comfortable. My
it was.
second day outfit, I liked better because it had the color red. That's my favorite color. The one thing that I would recommend to everybody out there is don't wear tight jeans. Do
Oh
not wear
yeah.
tight jeans if you're going to sit on the ground.
Yeah.
I could not breathe. I couldn't figure out how to look cool while I was sitting on the ground and not being able to breathe. At one point, it got really cold, so I put on my jacket that I made. If you're looking at the YouTube video,
Please,
you could see
please,
it.
please watch the video.
It's gorgeous. Whatever, it's fine. Um, at one point it got really cold, so I put on the jacket and I was like, I have a jacket on, I could unbutton my jeans. And then I breathed for the first time in the whole day. So if you have cute jeans, but they're a little bit uncomfortable to sit in the ground, just don't wear them.
Yeah. I
And
was also more about my day two look. It was more of like more of my vibe. Because the first day I was playing a character, I think, of myself, or like I was playing into one of my personalities. Day two was very much me with like white jeans with like this gorgeous top that I got off of Amazon. And I
it was
just felt
gorgeous.
like a, bad bitch that I am. And it really projected that inner personality of mine. And I wore blue eyeliner. So that's how you know I meant business.
It's true. And then another thing that I've always been envious of, which is not a cute look, but like I can't help it. It's fine. Is during my years of life, you don't need to know how many, um, I have learned that hoes do not get cold. And I don't mean hoes in a derogatory manner. No, I just mean hoes don't get cold. And the amount of women that were wearing very revealing outfits, which looked amazing on them, there was a lot of them. I don't know how it got really cold at night, but they were rocking it. I was so envious. Like I wish I could do that. But it it was really great. Like I just hoes don't get cold.
Dude, they really don't. Like we both were more
Don't.
clothes on day 2, and also we were there during time change. So it got
Yeah.
darker faster on Sunday and it was colder, and these girls were wearing nothing. Like the skimpy outfits, obsessed with them. Like go for it. During the day they were fine because it was sunlight, so it was you were okay.
Yeah.
But once the sun like went down, it
Like
was
around
game
5.
over. I we were
Yeah.
both fully covered and I was freezing the whole
2
time.
jackets and everything.
Everything.
It kind of reminded me of my friends and I, we went to this pirate festival. That's a thing in Tampa called Gasperla. And again, hoes don't get cold. It was like 40 degrees. I was wearing long sleeve pants, a jacket, and they were wearing the cutest shorts with like cutout shirts, and it was a lot. But I just wish I could be them because I also want to be
And
cool, but I'm
that's
not cool.
on being Latin American and mom telling you that you're gonna catch the sereno and you're gonna get cold after 6 p.m. and you need to, bring a jacket for everything. So that's on that.
Also, our thyroid problems.
Also our thyroid problems. Yes.
It's fine. It's fine. We move
Yeah,
on. We live. We survive.
we did.
It's cool.
With that said, Head in the Clouds was incredible. It was an amazing break to our 2 year almost drought of fun and just, lighthearted excitement, music, concerts. It was that first experience that we all kind of were eager to have after being locked down for so long. The only thing, or we wish there was a better logistical approach to, was the Uber pickup, because the
Yeah.
Rose Bowl has very like one area where you can be picked up. And on day 1, we were both dropped off and picked up at the wrong spot. So we
Yeah.
had to walk way more than most people did, which like if you're already standing all day or walking around all day, it's exhausting. So, and
Yeah.
especially by the end of the day, like we really couldn't have been more tired. So the pickup spot for ride shares are just could be improved. That was the only thing that I could have
Yeah.
said. When they sent the survey, I really sent so many positive comments because that's all I have to say.
It's true.
By the time that we went to Head in the Clouds in early November, we already knew that we were coming back within 2 to 3 weeks for the BTS concerts in LA, because we're that extra. And we were just hyper aware, especially after experiencing the shit show at SoFi Stadium, which you'll hear about in our next episode about the PTD in LA concert. So stay tuned for that. But just the way better management that had gone into play at Head in the Clouds versus the BTS concert at SoFi Stadium. Literally zero reflection of BTS. I'm talking about the management at SoFi Stadium. Head in the Clouds really had their shit together. They had special lanes for VIP. We made no lines in VIP for anything. The again, like Laura mentioned, the Clear app for the vaccinations, or if people had tests instead. We had really the smoothest experiences getting in and out of the venue after Head in the Clouds, and it was 30,000 attendees, so it's a lot of people. There were 50,000 for the BTS concerts, but it was they still could have done better, which I mean they did on day 2 of the concerts for PTD. But again, we'll talk about that in another podcast. And just to mention, the tragedy of Astroworld had
Yeah.
happened just a day before Head in the Clouds, so I
Mm.
think that made the event organizers even more aware of
Yeah.
the potential dangers that could have taken place. So for the first day of Head in the Clouds, they made announcements throughout the day from the stage asking fans to please take steps back, please not crush anyone, please be mindful of people. So, and then for day 2, they had them recorded and, polished to make it extra official. But we really appreciate all of the thought that the 88 Rising, Head in the Clouds collective put into the logistics of the event, because it truly went incredible from our
Yeah.
perspective. And they had every precaution in mind for the safety of the attendees, which is what made it such a great experience for people like
Mhm.
us. We're not 20 anymore. So we're a
We
lot
could be.
more.
You don't know my life.
Sure. But we really like to enjoy ourselves and be comfortable and be safe, and we felt all those things at the festival. So shout out to the 88 Rising and Head in the Clouds planning committee.
It's very true. it's so much true that even my husband, who is not into anything, literally, except, his own things, has said, yeah, I'm game for next year. Like, just let me know. We're there. It was truly amazing. One thing that I wanted to point out was, at first we were a little bit weary of how much different the VIP experience would be from the general section. And I'm really only bringing it up because we did pay a little bit more, and they did do it right. Like, it felt very different. The lines were much shorter, the bathrooms were cleaner, everything was really, really good. Aside from that, I think the people attending were also really amazing, because every time they would say, yeah, please, everybody step back, people would actually step back. Everybody was really respectful and welcoming, I guess. I mean, as somebody who hasn't really been into Korean entertainment in general until very recently, I didn't feel weird. I didn't feel like, oh, you're one of those, like, whatever. So it was really nice to be there. I am ready to buy this year's ticket like tomorrow, yesterday.
Same.
Ready. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the MIA2K podcast. We have lots of great content coming up ahead, so please don't forget to follow and subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you enjoyed our episodes, please rate us 5 stars.
And for the real-time tea, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @MIA2K podcast. Dale, bye.